I never lose, either I win or I learn. Those are my only options, to whomever it may concern. About to be a hot topic, play with fire, you get burned. Ain't nobody give me nothing, whatever I got, better I earn. I never lose, but I learn. I either win or I
Thank you for
learn.
listening to the
Those are
Strong
my
AF podcast.
This episode is brought to you by our Weight Loss Transformation Masterclass. After spending over 30 years of my life being obese and dealing with chronic constipation issues, I decided to get my certification in fitness, nutrition, and wellness to empower myself to lose over 70 pounds and keep it off.
Watching my brother and dad have a heart attack within weeks of each other, I knew I had to make a change, but I wasn't sure what to do. After researching and studying to get my certification in fitness, nutrition, and weight loss management, I was able to use this knowledge I gained to lose over 80 pounds and keep it off.
Now we're passionate about helping others to avoid the same mistakes that we made and changing the world through holistic health and wellness. So our approach is focused on mindset because overall health, including our mental health, means everything to us.
Imagine waking up with more energy than you imagined possible, no longer worrying about digestive issues and bloating.
We're here to show you how to ditch the fad diets and make small changes in your lifestyle, which will make a massive impact on your quality of life.
These are changes that you will be able to pass on for generations to come. Go to veganstrongandfit.com/masterclass today to sign up for your free masterclass and get started on a happier, healthier journey.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Strong AF podcast. I'm Ashley.
I'm Yuri.
And tonight we have on two amazing guests. We have Chef Mallory Johnson and her boyfriend Darrell. And the reason this is so amazing, right, is because we found this place when we first went vegan. And we were like, oh my gosh, I really want a hot dog. And we found you guys, and it's not just any hot dog. The owner of Dawg'on Vegan, who has 100% plant-based brought dog topped with all of your favorite vegan chilies.
Vegan cheat meal eat.
Cheat meal eat. Why can I not talk today? No, I'm struggling.
No, listen. It's 8:00. It's almost bedtime. I know you got a house full that you're running. You're doing your podcast. You're doing your thing, girl. You are doing a great job. Okay, I just want you to know. Thank you.
Well, let me tell you, that shrimp that you have on top of the dog, that Tiki Tiki Dog.
The Tiki Tiki Dog.
Oh gosh, that's to die for.
Thank you.
And we'll get into that more.
That's our biggest seller. That
yes.
one is popular.
So Chef Mal has been on Food Network's Christmas Cookie Challenge and catered for celebrity chefs, as well as food styling on TV One's hit show Sister Circle. She's also a certified herbalist, which we're super passionate about,
Definitely.
and a non-GMO advocate. And her goal is to help people to simply start to care about what's in their food they are eating and feeding their children, which is exactly what we're promoting all the time. And understanding that plants heal and helping people understand that plant medicine is preaching the gospel.
You did your homework, girl. Yes.
I have to give props to Yuri here. He pulled a lot of that.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you. Yes, that is everything in one little thing that I'm passionate about. Yes, that's everything.
Wonderful. Well,
Thank
I
you.
said, we're so glad to have you guys on because I'm telling you, the first time that we tried that food, so I came down to get it, and
You're going too fast. You got to just back up for a second.
Okay.
I don't even remember how we stumbled across it.
I think we were just searching for vegan food.
Wherever it was on Instagram, and then we seen the website, and we were just looking at the names of it and then seeing pictures. I'm like, oh my goodness, is it really like this?
My mouth was watering. I was like, oh my gosh, it can't be that good. Because we were just trying to figure it all out. Like, we had no clue at this point, And I was like, when you're first transitioning, you're still having all those cravings and like, oh my gosh, I just need something. And then I saw your food and I was like, oh my gosh, I've never even had, animal product meat that was like that. Like, this is amazing.
It's all about the flavors. It's all about the flavors.
Yes. So, we placed our order and I think we tried to get like one of everything.
I remember when you placed the order because y'all bought out the slot.
Yes. Okay? I was like, we got to try everything.
Yes.
That car was loaded up.
It was so hard to just choose one thing. We was looking at that sound good, that sound good, that sound good. Well, the kids got to have something. So we'll get them from that. So
and Yuri had to work. So I was like, babe, I don't know if this food's going to make it till the time you get home.
It was on my mind that whole 12-hour shift. I was like, man, I can't wait to get home. Look what I'm showing everybody. Hey, look what I'm about to eat. Look what I'm about to eat. This is vegan. This is vegan.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. And it was everything you thought it would be.
Oh, it was more. Because we had tried, okay, let me tell you, this mac and cheese was to die for. That's one of my favorites. So we had tried other mac and cheese around the area. I ain't gonna call nobody out, but they were good considering.
They were decent.
But man, when I tried yours, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is heaven.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, that means so much. It's hard to get mac and cheese right, and I constantly, it's still a developing recipe, okay?
And we debate back and forth all the time. Like, I don't know which one's my favorite, the hot or the cold.
Yep. It's a one-er. It's like, I don't know.
For Thanksgiving, we had, what was it, a half?
Yeah, we had the half trays.
Of both of them. And it was so much food. We were eating on it for like a whole week. And we were sitting there eating it. Maybe this one tastes better. Y'all like this one. Then we tasted another one of the cold. Like maybe this one. It was just a toss.
That is too funny. I love it. That blessed my soul. Thank you. I'm so glad y'all enjoyed it. That's why we do it. We want people to like have those emotions and those feelings because it's literally an experience. When we develop these flavors and these innovative, toppings and stuff, we really collab. We really put our all in it. So when customers say and describe and have those feelings and experiences, it means so much to us. So thank you.
Of course. So tell us more about your journey because I know that you had. You've got quite a story on how you came into this business and just into this passion, right? So just describe more of that journey to us.
Well, so I've been in the culinary industry for probably a little bit over 7 years now. And I've worked with, different, herbal chefs and just holistic part of it. But I originally started out as a baker. I used to bake sweets. I used to do dessert tables and cake pops and, decorative cakes. And that's how I landed on the Christmas cookie challenge. And then when I started to really become more conscious of the foods that I was eating and the ingredients that were, being put into our food and different things like that, I started to make better, decisions and stuff about, the food that I wanted to prepare for people as well. So as I grew in the knowledge of that stuff, my palette for different dishes and stuff grew too. So naturally, my business is going to transition with me.
Right.
So, and it just worked out that way. And here we are, Dawg'on Vegans, we came in alignment with each other almost 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
Right. And he's just as passionate about food as I am, he really do most of the cooking when we like to eat food at home. He does all the cooking. So but yeah, we kind of really collab when it comes to flavors and stuff, and like we balance each other out. We love to go for the the main flavor palettes: crunchy, savory, sweet. The crunchy, buttery. Those soft. It's just the flavor palettes that those notes are important. So we collab with a lot.
Yeah.
That's great. And Darrell actually came up with the name, right?
Yes. So Darrell, Okay, so just to add on to the story, I just kind of went in a place where I wanted to transition out of corporate America, and I wanted to really get into being my own boss and being more independent and having my own business and being able to survive that way and not have to rely on working in corporate America anymore. So I really started to make, after 8 years in corporate America, I started to make this up in my mind I was really focused about it. And I had auditioned for different shows and stuff, but one of the most, like, I really wanted to get on a certain show called MasterChef, and I had auditioned for it 3 years in a row. And the last year I auditioned for it, I got to the end of like the last round of casting, and I was already in a transition period. So I was kind of couch hopping a little bit, and I was, staying with my brother, staying with a friend, here and there. And I had shared with my cousin, kind of what I was going through, and, just because we talked. And she was like, you know what, why don't you come out here to Charlotte? She was like, Charlotte is up and coming, it's not a whole lot of vegan places. I moved out here from Atlanta. And so she was like, it's not as fast as Atlanta, it's kind of growing to that stage and that, environment and statue of Atlanta, but it's not quite there yet. And she was like, I think you would do really good out here. And so I was like, okay. I said, you know what? I'll try it. I was like, I'll come. I just was like, all right, I'm ready to transition. I knew I had to make a move. I knew I had to make a bold move, and I knew I had to be for real about it. So I had to commit. So I committed, and I came down here, and I thought I was training for Master Chef, right? So I'm like, I could train for Master Chef. I could focus on my business. I could do that because they weren't charging me. They just asked that I grocery shop and, cook food for them every now and then, and I was like, well, I do that anyway, So that was the perfect deal for me. And I knew I was never going to get this opportunity again to be in a space where I could just build the thing that I wanted to build so I can, start to help move culture forward and, be comfortable as well at the same time and survive. And so I moved down here, and I was, thinking I was training for MasterChef and everything. And like 3 days before it was time for them to fly everybody out, because I had literally signed my life away to Fox and Food Network, not Food Network, but Fox and Gordon Ramsay's team and everything. And I was like, well, shoot. And we were in a relationship then. We had, kind of started to build on different ideas and stuff anyway. And he was planning on moving here too. And so just in the process of building a relationship and trying to making a conscious decision together that we were going to build an empire, I was like, well, when I didn't get the show, I was like, well, shoot, what am I going to, because I just knew I was going to LA. I was like, well, shoot, what am I going to do now? I don't know, and because I had quit my job, I had moved out here to Charlotte, and, I was about to do the thing, right? And I was like, well, shoot, what do I do now? And I was like, well, I guess I can make vegan hot dogs and put really crazy, yummy, delicious flavors and additives on top. And he was like, yeah, you could call it Dawg'on Vegans. And I was like, I love it. I created an Instagram page that night. We came up with 5 different dog flavors, and then the next week I just started making them, and I started shooting them and promoting it on Instagram and social media. And we set a date. We started the business. We set a date, March 23rd, 2019, at the barn. We set up, because I was already working at the barn doing my herbalist work. I was, there to provide my teas and my elderberry syrup and things like that. So I was already working the barn. So I was like, well, shoot, I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna bring Dawg'on Vegans to the barn. And the owner was totally cool with it. I promoted it because it was also bringing more people, more awareness to that community of vegans. Because I'm all about helping to move culture forward. And I know we're going in a direction where people are choosing more healthier lifestyles. And so I want to help direct that traffic. You know what I'm saying? And so we set up that day, and it was so very well promoted. We had a crazy line. I mean, when we say crazy, it's not the crazy that it is now, but we had a crazy line, and we had this little bitty fryer. Little bitty fryer. I think we got it at Sam's Club. Sam's Club be acting like they have restaurant supply stuff, but no, you gotta go to the restaurant supply store to get that kind of stuff. because that little fry daddy, we had a line and people was waiting for like, oh, it was brutal.
About
but
an hour. Almost up to an hour sometimes.
Yeah, like an hour. Because he flew down to help, start the launch day.
Mhm.
And it was crazy, but we got it done. I almost, had a meltdown a few times when, because we were when I say the barn, it's literally outside. It's like a barn.
Wow.
And it has, electricity, but it's kind of sketchy sometimes. So it was like going out. Remember, like it was like going out, and I was freaking out. And
yeah, circuits. I mean,
yeah,
electricity was going out. So
Oh my gosh.
Circuits.
because there was other
the
people.
oil was going, temperatures, going up and down, no consistency. It was almost a nightmare. But somehow, some way, we pulled through.
We pulled it off. We pulled it off. And so we've been pulling it off ever since.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what was the first, I'm sure probably the Tiki Tiki dog, but I may be wrong. What was the first dog that you came up with?
What was the first dog? The very first dog we came up with.
I think it was a Sloppy Jack.
Yeah.
Sloppy Jack.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jack.
It
was.
Yeah, it was, because it was like a play on this Hawaiian restaurant. They like had this macaroni salad that I loved. And so it was like, let's do something with a barbecue, like have this home style barbecue flavor to it all in one bite. And she was kind of opposed to the macaroni salad on top at first, but after you tasted it and got the whole bite, she was like, oh wow, this is like that last couple of bites on your picnic plate at the family reunion. So that's the first one we came up with.
That's
yeah, awesome. It was with the macaroni salad, and I remember when he flew down, he was like, all right, now I need to taste it, because if it don't taste like the one that I'm talking about, it ain't gonna work. He'd be like, he'd like that. He'd be like, I know what I'm doing, but he'd be like, I need to taste it. I need to taste it. And when he tastes it, he's like, yep, that's right. It was good. And so we went with the dog, and that was the first dog, and that was the biggest seller for a while, because we didn't come out with the Tiki Tiki until
we had
we had the Tiki. Yeah, we had the Tiki the first day too. So the first day we had the dogs. We had the Tiki Tiki dog and the Sloppy Jack dog and the Swiss Doggy dog, which we haven't had it in a while, but we've had it before. It's like a Philly melt type of thing. We're actually still tweaking it, so it'll come back out again with a relaunch of a whole new vibe. Kind of, we like to revamp our dogs every now. So but yeah, the Sloppy Jack was the first one.
I'm still amazed to think that y'all came up with these 5 dogs, the marketing and everything, just all in a matter of days.
And just went for it. I mean, that's what holds so many people back, is like they have these great ideas, but they want to get everything perfect, right? Like everything has to be in line, and I'm not going to do it until all this is done, but all that's never going to be done. Sometimes you just got to step out there. So how did you feel just like throwing this all together within a matter of weeks?
Well, I was already in an all or nothing mode. I had made a decision. I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna work hard for the rest of my life, it's gonna be for my own business. It's gonna be for my legacy. It's gonna be for my children's children. And so I was like, if I'm gonna work hard for this, it's gonna be mine. It's gonna be ours. It's gonna be something that will, it's gonna be legacy. And so I was already on that path. I was already focused. I was already ready, and I was already fully submitted. And so it was nothing for me. When he said that, when I was like, what are we going to do? It was like my cousin, the way my cousin tells this story is a little different, because she was like, she always be like, after you found out you wasn't going to MasterChef, you sat in that room for 48 hours. And when you came out of that room, you had a whole business, you had a name, you had an Instagram page, you had a launch day. I was like, yeah, because I lived by this for a long time. When things happen in my life, like I give myself 48 hours to cry. You only allow 48 hours. Get it out, cry about it, beat yourself up, whatever you got to do, get over it and go.
Yes.
And so I can't stay stuck for too long. I have to move. because I'm a Leo and I'm a fire sign, and like I don't have a lot of air and I don't have a lot of water. He's water, he balances me out. So I have to just go. And that's what holds people back. The hardest part is getting started.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta start.
Yeah.
Really.
Exactly. And once you do something and you kind of take that leap, then your next decision, it's easier to just go. Mm-hmm. It makes it so much easier.
You learn how to trust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You learn how to trust, and you learn how to understand that you already have everything you need. Mm-hmm. Go. Yeah. It'll be provided as you go, because so many people done sold into our lives just for Dawg'on Vegans to be what it is now, you know, especially when you're in the business of service, you know what I'm saying? Like when you serve people and the more you give, the more, you know, that's reciprocated. Like it's the cycle. And so I have always been in the service industry. And so I have always expected for it to be given back to me. So you just have to move. I mean, it's just really a conscious decision to move.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I love that because, you know, we started our business, and that was huge because we talked about starting our own business and kind of getting away from just the 9 to 5 and being able to kind of rely on ourselves. And we talked about it for 2-3 years and never actually did anything. Yeah. And then, you know, we just finally decided to get out there and do it. And then each decision after that was just quicker and easier. As a matter of fact, we just decided to do this podcast in December of 2020. And our first episode launched January 11th of 2021. Like we were on
Congrats. It. That's awesome. Yes. That's amazing.
I mean, once you finally get in that mindset of just going forward, it doesn't have to be perfect, but like, let's do it and let's improve as we go. Then yeah.
Facts. Now you just got to get started, and you just have to learn how to trust yourself. Exactly. And we do that. It's a constant lesson. We do that every day, you know? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, speaking of trusting yourself, Sarah, and also that we have kind of looked into you a little bit more. So you had some health issues for a while that you had seen the doctor about, right? Several times, and then finally decided to trust yourself and your herbalist background and was able to kind of fix your issues. So can you talk to us more about your herbalist background and that journey?
Yeah. So I, you know, in my transition of, you know, making those conscious decisions to be in business for myself and to care for myself and to care for my family, you know, from a holistic standpoint of life, I ended up taking herbalist classes. And so I got certified, and I'm a community certified herbalist. I went through Indigenous Remedies. It's a phenomenal program. And I was dealing with some issues. I was having menstrual issues that a lot of women face today. A lot of women have issues with fibroids. A lot of women have issues with irregular menstrual periods. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they're heavier or they don't have them at all. Some women have endio, you know, type of issues. And so it was kind of grouped all in that same, you know, same scenario. And so I just started to study herbs that had an affinity to the female reproductive system. And I began to take herbs. I began to heal myself naturally, because when I was going to the doctor, I had blood tests, I had ultrasounds, you know, they tried to put me on birth control. They tried to give me hormone pills. And I was like, you know what? And those things just made it worse. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to listen to my body and I'm going to heal myself naturally. So that's when I started to really study herbs that had an affinity to the female reproductive system. And I was able to clear up my issue in 2 weeks with changing my diet. I stopped eating meat, and cheese is like cheese. I know people slide back on cheese every now and then. It happens. I get it, because I love cheese, but I had to really give up the cheese, because that is really one of the issues that a lot of people can't give up, and that's one of the reasons that a lot of women have issues in the reproductive system. So I started to share my story with other people, and they started to drink the tea that I was making, and they started to, heal themselves naturally. So now I have a tea line, and also I do elderberry syrup, and I do a lot of other holistic, custom packages as well too. And that's my business. That's my first baby, and Dawg'on Vegans is my second baby. But Dawg'on Vegans is holding it down right now. So, we kind of we on the status of twins at this point almost. So that's why we got, a really great partner.
That's amazing. I love that. We're really passionate about our herbs and our teas that we drink every day too. And I found that like when it's time for my menstrual cycle, I always have the red raspberry and the rose. And
rose
those are so helpful.
Yep. And
it's just amazing.
It's just amazing what plants can do for you and how your body works once you stop eating the animal flesh and dairy products and stuff like that. Because for us, with me, veganism pretty much saved my life. Being at my most 331 pounds and having high blood pressure and seeing my older brother have a heart attack, and then our father have a heart attack weeks from that, and having strokes and stuff like that, where I seen what my future could possibly be, and then I learned what I could do to prevent that. So
wow, that's wonderful. Works. I love to hear stories like that. That is what people need to hear, because a lot of people don't know that you can heal yourself naturally, and just changing your diet, just changing your diet will help so much. Just eating your own food and not eating all of that fast food, the McDonald's and
the stuff you don't even know what's in there.
The stuff that you don't even know what's in there. Like, it's just vegan food, it's so simple. It's way more simplistic than a lot of it's been like so many growth hormones and like different things are going on, MSG and stuff, and like so it's not the chicken and pork and steak that our mamas and grandpapas and mamas used to eat. It's just not. It's different. It's different. So that's very powerful that you and I be watching y'all be doing your thing. Y'all be doing your thing. I seen all y'all's results. I was like, that is beautiful. That is so beautiful. So congratulations to y'all on taking the journey and being committed to it and having a platform to talk about this kind of stuff. That is, I feel like, not a lot of people are taking a stand on, certain things. I appreciate that.
Most definitely. It's been something that we've been really passionate about because, his story and then, my story as well. So I had chronic constipation issues since I was a kid, to the point that I was so sick. I missed 40 some days of school in 8th grade. And the doctor actually told my mom that it was all in my head. I was making this up until I finally got an x-ray. And I kid you not, I was literally constipated up to my chest and had to be flushed out. That's how sick I was. It was to the point that you could touch my skin and I would scream in pain because the toxins had been released into my blood system. And I was basically told that was something I was going to have to deal with the rest of my life. I was never told that changing my diet could help or anything like this. But since I've gone vegan, I've not had that issue whatsoever.
Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. You don't hear a lot of stories. You don't hear enough stories like that. Like, oh my goodness, that it is changing your diet. Like another girl was just hitting me up in the DM the other day and telling me that I wish my doctor would have just told me changing my diet was all I had to do. Doctors do not tell you that. No. And that's not okay.
And I don't think necessarily that it's negligence on their part. I think they're truly not educated enough on how nutrition helps the body. It's formed to educate them on how medicine can relieve your symptoms and diagnosing that way, because that's the way society has pushed. But we don't have that in the education system, even from the time you're young. My kids didn't learn about that in school. You know, I mean, that's on us to teach them and to teach our families, even, you know, our parents, because they don't understand that. And that's where having guys like you coming in and having this amazing food that is relatable is so important. Because when we had our Thanksgiving, we had our family over and we told them that we were doing an all vegan Thanksgiving. And they were kind of like, I don't know. You know? like my mom didn't even come because they were like, we want real food for Thanksgiving. And I'm like, this is real food. You're eating crap, but whatever. So, anyway, so, you know, we got this and his family was over and they were like, my mother-in-law was like, is this really vegan? Is this really vegan? And I'm like, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, because she would bite the shrimp and then look at it. So that looks like a shrimp. That is not whatever you say it is. That is a shrimp.
Wow, that's funny.
My mom ended up having me box up some food and take it over to them to try, you know, even though they wouldn't come over here to eat it. But my grandma ate all of that and wasn't even hungry for their Thanksgiving. I was like, you should have came.
Wow. Yeah. See, you gotta, it's people like you gotta show people. You gotta just taste it.
Right.
Just taste it.
Exactly. I think the word vegan is scary because it's different. But they just don't understand. Like, it's not the chicken and the steak that you love. It's the seasonings that you put on it that you enjoy. Yeah. You know, nobody's wanting an unseasoned chicken wing. That's just nasty.
Right. We need flavor. We need to we need to identify a little bit. Come on, help us out. Yeah, so, you know, that's important for us to be as creative as we can be. And we love food anyway. Like, we're foodies. Like, we're foodies. We're like the foodies foodie. Like, we're for the foodies. Okay. Like, vegan, non-vegan. You know, because we don't really do it for the vegans per se. We do it for the non-vegans and the foodies. Like, people want to have an experience. Like, I'm always here for food experiences. And so for people who want to have a food experience, vegan style, those are the people that I'm like, yeah, come try.
Right, exactly.
We were definitely those people, because when I came home from work and I seen that Tiki Tiki Dog, I said, man, this shrimp is huge. There's like 3 pieces of it. I ate that, and then maybe the mac and cheese, and then I tried some of the cauliflower wings, and then I was full. I was like, but I got to eat the rest of this dog. It looks so good. I started eating. I was like, oh my goodness. So we're gonna go broke. I can't just have this once and not have it again. It was just amazing.
Yeah, it's an experience.
So I just like to know, how did y'all come up with the Tiki Tiki Dog?
The Tiki Tiki Dog. Oh, well, so how did we come up with the Tiki Dog?
Originally, we wanted to come up with like a Hawaiian kind of inspired flavor.
Yeah.
You know, a play on it. And so we was thinking like, what kind of sauces, you know, and what kind of, you know, flavors go together. Like, what do you find traditionally in those dishes? So, you know, he's like thinking coconuts, shrimp, you know,
like a sticky sauce.
Yep, a sticky sauce. And so,
you know, the Hawaiian vibe, pineapple Polynesian teriyaki vibe, you know. And
originally we wanted to put the macaroni salad.
Originally, he wanted to put the macaroni salad on it, not me.
So she substituted it with that slaw, which a lot of people love. They eat it by itself.
Yeah, like, a lot of people can I just get some of the slaw?
Yeah, that's how we came up with it. And that's how we came up with almost every dog. We just kind of went to every, I guess, nationality.
Like the Sloppy Jack was the first dog. And so when we talk about, we want you to have an experience when you eat this food, like Like, tell them about the sloppy jack dog. How we came up with the sloppy jack dog and what it reminds you of.
I already did.
No, the barbecue.
We said that already.
We didn't say that already. That was the other one. Anyways, you know that last bite of barbecue, like at a picnic, family picnic or something, you know, it's like if you ate barbecue ribs, barbecue chicken or whatever, and you got that last bite with the macaroni salad and the bread. That's the sloppy jack experience.
Did we didn't say that already?
We did, but it's okay.
Oh, okay. I want to make sure I'm not sure.
No,
We did?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
We did.
I don't remember saying that. Okay, I'm tripping.
It's all good.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, we originally wanted to put the mac salad on the tiki dog. He wanted to. I didn't want to.
But it came out all right. Yeah. So yeah, we just went around like, you know, different nationalities, like Hispanic inspired, Italian. That's how we came up with the
Mine's
mondo.
nachos,
You
mine
know, Mexican, yeah, mine's. And we just, you know, tried to touch on every different part so we could attract as many different people and cultures as well, you know.
Yeah. My only complaint about your food is I have a really small mouth, and maybe you can't tell because I do talk a lot, but I have a really small mouth, and I feel like I need to like unhinge my mouth to fit this in.
That's why we gave you a fork and a knife.
I love it. No, it's amazing. It is amazing.
That's a great
Just make
problem
sure
to
you
have.
have a ton of napkins. It's so good. I was talking to Yuri on the way home because I was like, I got to think about which one's my favorite because there's just so much. But I really think that the Southern Belle has actually been my favorite so far because, first of all, I'm just a potato salad fanatic, and that potato salad on there is so good.
The potato salad, that is like so the Belle. Now that's a good story. How we came up with the Belle. Y'all want to hear it?
Yeah,
Of course.
Well, I've seen your video on it, but yes, our
you
listeners
did?
want to hear it.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, because initially it wasn't gonna have the clementine butter on it because initially we just made it with the potato salad and the roasted garlic maple gravy. But he was like, when we ate it, he was like, it's real savory. It need a sweet element because you know our flavors, we kind of put a sweet flavor twang to it, you know, a little bit. And so I was like, ooh, we could do this clementine butter that I used to make a lot, and we made it, put it on the Belle, and that
balanced everything.
It balanced everything out, and it's a big one too. People come out for that Belle.
Oh gosh, it is so good.
Yes, because I remember she'll tell me they have the Belle. I was like, well, you telling me this? I've barely even tried it. You won't even let me taste it, really.
Yeah, I was kind of greedy on that one.
Yeah, the Belle. I've had it 2 times, and every time, both times I've had it, it's like, oh, that's why people love this thing. But it's really good.
Yeah.
Let's see. There was another one around it may have been the quarantine somewhere in there, the pandemic, where y'all came up with the what was it, the COVID curry?
Yeah, the COVID curry dog. Yeah, you know, we was talking about it being a timestamp dog. You know, just it's so heavy right now. You know, like it's so heavy, and so we just kind of wanted to twist it a little bit. You know,
put a positive spin
on it. It's good. You know, like let's check, like because the frequency was just low. Lord,
yeah.
So. And people came out for it. They tried it. You know, some people was a little, you know, but we gonna have those, and that's okay.
Yeah, we definitely had it. As soon as y'all brought it out, we had it. So I remember seeing the name. I was like, oh, I like that COVID curry. I don't even care what's on it. I just want to eat it because of the name.
Yeah. So that one wasn't here. Actually, we should bring that one out again soon.
Yeah.
So speaking of COVID, because you know, you just your business is pretty new, right? Dawg'on Vegans is pretty new, and then COVID's been going on for the past year now. So how did that affect you?
It really didn't affect us, you know, because we're just out on the weekends primarily. We thought it would, you know, we thought we'd see a drop off in customers or clients coming back, but I mean, people trust us, you know, I guess, and you know, we try to educate ourselves as much as we can to make other people feel safe and make ourselves feel safe. So, you know, it really didn't affect us. You know, we did switch to pre-order and pickup for a little bit, and that was kind of the only big change we had for a while, for a minute. But after that, we just went back to normal.
That's great.
Yeah, we never stopped. We was like, oh, okay, we just gotta switch it up a little bit. That's fine.
Yeah.
Quick on your feet. Quick on your feet.
Yeah, gotta be.
Oh gosh,
gotta
yes, exactly.
Yeah, when you have a demand and you got a momentum going, I mean, you know, people, you know, like he said, people, I guess they trust us, and we take pride in that. Like we take pride in that. You know, every customer, you know, with complaints or whatever, like I always want, like, please critique us.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So would y'all be working on anything else, any other recipes or something in the works?
Did you guys have the Big Bubba? Because we
I
just
haven't
redid
had
that one.
Yeah, we just revamped the Big Bubba.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be a big one too. A couple people have had it, and it's really, really good, is all I'm saying. He makes the smoked Gouda grits with some vegan bacon in it. And then there's like the garlic maple garlic maple butter. That's a drizzle, and then it's like a Cajun crispy shrimp sauce that goes on top of the grits. It's like a shrimp and grit dog.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it's got bacon on top. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the newest one. We've had it on the menu, but we brought it back out, and he didn't have it, and you know, he gotta taste everything, so he didn't like the last flavor. And honestly, I forgot how to make it because I hadn't made it in so long, and so I was like, I'm gonna fix it next week anyway. But so we redid it, and it came out to be phenomenal.
That's great. I love the way y'all work together. And I think that your personalities kind of mirror ours a little bit. So Mal, you're more outspoken and everything, and more reserved, but he still has all these amazing ideas, and that's kind of the way Yuri is. So he's more reserved and quiet, but he comes up with all these great ideas, and we couldn't do this separately. You know, it has to be us together.
Yes, I totally feel that. Like, that's how I am. Like, I say all the time, you know, it's such a blessing to have a partner that balances you out, because it's too much stuff in here. You know, I need help.
Exactly.
It's too much.
Yes.
So he comes in with the Batman cape often. Okay. So yeah. Happy to have him. I think I keep him. But yeah, we work really good together. So we try.
That's awesome. I know that a lot of people, they ask us all the time, like, how are y'all married and have a business together, you know, because a lot of people do struggle with that. So do y'all have struggles with that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You want to talk about it?
I mean, it's just minor stuff.
Yeah, it's not.
It's like over food. There'll be like discrepancies about, recipes or something like that. But I mean, other than that, it's nothing major.
Yeah.
But we find ourselves having to compromise sometimes.
Yeah.
And,
right.
Just the way it is.
Yeah.
That's how it works. So.
We have to just work it out.
Yeah.
But it mostly just be because you know how Erica Badu, she was like, now keep in mind I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about marketing. And he come in and critique stuff, and I be like,
be sensitive.
tread lightly, but it be turning out to be fire, and I'd be like, okay, I get it. It was good.
We can definitely relate. we maybe had an incident today where we're coming up with a new program, and we're thinking about either, I believe it was fitness related, and she's coming up with something. I'm like, we need something harder than that. That's too easy. We need to make that challenging for them, especially with this coming for the summer and stuff like that. And we're going back and forth until she finally says that you're right. And I'm like,
I think the biggest thing for us is like, since we, are married and our business, like it's nonstop, right? So ideas come up just randomly. Like for this program, our client actually had requested this, and I was like, oh yeah, that's actually a really good idea. So I'm laying in bed that night and I'm like, hey, let's put this together. Like we're supposed to be sleeping and I'm sitting here trying to put a program together.
Right. Yeah, facts. You gotta, when those downloads come, you gotta go. Yeah. And you guys have kids.
Oh yeah, we got 3 boys.
Yeah, so I know that's why we don't have kids. Well, he has a daughter. She's older though, so y'all have little ones and middle-sized ones, right?
Yeah, yeah, 9, 3, and 2.
Yeah, so I can only imagine.
Oh yeah,
it's rough.
So big ups to y'all because y'all have a whole nother element on top.
Oh yeah.
Of y'all whole nother representation group, So yeah, because we ain't hit that mark yet. But I'm sure, when we do, we'll handle it. So
most definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. We have enjoyed having you on tonight. We have a few rapid fire questions that we got to tie in here. So these are your preferences: weights or cardio?
Dang, I do both. I don't know.
I'd rather walk in nature.
Cardio.
Yeah. Okay. And favorite fruit?
What's my favorite fruit?
Mango.
Mango, yeah, I do like mango. Yeah. I really do like mango. Yeah, that'd probably be my favorite fruit.
My favorite fruit is I like pomegranates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like pomegranates. I don't like dealing with them, but I like the flavor.
Right. Yeah, they're a hassle. And I struggle with all the seeds because I like to put them all in my mouth.
Yeah.
Get all of the goodness out of it and spit it out like
exactly.
He does celery like that. He just be walking around a bunch of celery in his mouth. He loves celery too. But I guess that's not a fruit. But
the next question is favorite vegetable. So I guess they're almost that's yours.
His is celery. I like collard greens. I like leafy greens. Like I like, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
favorite comfort food?
I know what yours is.
I love carrot cake.
Carrot cake?
My dessert.
Oh, I'm sorry. That is my comfort food, though.
It can be comforting.
Yeah.
It can be comforting. If you eat it right, it can be comforting.
Hers probably soup.
Yeah, I like a really yummy hearty soup, like a potato stew or like a lentil stew or something like that. Like my I like hearty, like, vegetables and like potatoes and stuff like that. I like a vegetable based soup. Oh, I love stuff like that.
Oh, that sounds good. And then first thing that comes to your mind when you hear vegan?
Broccoli. I don't know why. It must have been. I must have been brainwashed.
You probably were. I don't even know. First thing the term vegan just sometimes irks me. I prefer plant-based because I just, when I think of vegan, I just revert to plant-based. And so I think of plants.
Yeah. That's awesome. One of the things that we get a lot is with being called vegan, strong, and fit, right? Like, are you completely vegan? And I think the answer is as close as we can be, but it's really, it's a lifestyle, right? It's not just the way you eat. But then I know that a lot of people who go by plant-based, many times they'll say that like they flex or so they include some meat sometimes, or they include cheese and dairy. So I think that there's not really just a term, it's just what you feel the most comfortable with. And like you said, I think, the word vegan really irks a lot of people just because of the connotation that it has around it.
It's another narrative type of thing, so I prefer the term plant-based, and because like even I'll use this example with Dawg'on Vegans, and I purposely, we use honey. The honey hot wings is honey. And some people will come up and ask, like, so what do you use for the honey? And I'll say organic, unfiltered wildflower honey. And some people will have issues with, for the most part, nobody cares, but there are those picky but for on purpose, because it is a plant-based and it is a lifestyle. It's not something that you need to stress yourself out over.
Right.
The honey has been proven to be medicinal and beneficial for several years. There's so many misconceptions behind honey. And so I want to normalize it on purpose. So we are Dawg'on Vegans, but we use honey. And I will tell anybody that.
I love it. I love it. I do. And then the most important question is, where do you get your strength from?
Where do we get our strength from? Well, I believe you have to be connected to some type of divine source that you believe in. You have to, and that normally turns back into yourself. When you go into yourself, and like really it's all about trusting yourself. So you have to be kind of solid in who you are. And I think for me, I know that I want Dawg'on Vegans to be something that we can leave a legacy with, something that we have made a conscious decision to build it, as our empire, and freedom, like that end goal is my strength. And, that end goal, and that, because like we all want more time, right? We all want more freedom. We all want to be able to, like we always say, restaurant on our terms. Like, so I think that is where I get my strength, knowing that, it's going to be like that. That's what we're headed towards. That's the goal. That's what we're trying to achieve, and just to be able to replicate that for generations.
Yeah. What about you, Darrell?
My strength comes from just life experiences, and you build tough skin. You realize you're stronger than you might have ever thought you were, because some experiences bring things out of you that you can use later on to basically as a gauge to know that you can overcome this, because you overcome other things. So that's where I get my strength from, my life experiences, and my relationships with family and friends that support you.
That's wonderful. I love that.
Definitely believe the best teacher in life, like you said, is experience. That's the only way to grow and see what you're made of.
Yep. Facts. Growing pains. Learn as you grow.
Exactly. Now, where can all of our listeners find you and try your amazing food?
Well, you can find us on Facebook at Dawg'on Vegans, and you can find us on Instagram at Dawg'on Vegans. We're all at Dawg'on Vegans on all platforms. And if you're wanting to email us, it's at dawgonvegans@gmail.com for booking and catering information. Our website is www.dawgonvegans.com. We have our frozen shrimp and our fry seasoning and paraphernalia coming soon, but we have our shrimp and our fry seasoning available for purchase there. And where else? How can they find us?
Instagram is where we post weekly.
And Facebook.
Yeah, so they want to know where people go. So if you go to Instagram, you subscribe, and
if you follow us on Instagram, just make sure you turn on your notifications. And we post our location and what day we're going to be out in our menu every week. So as long as you're following us, and as long as you have post notifications on, you'll be the first to know where we're going to be at.
Okay, great. And I heard you say that you got the fry seasoning on the website, so I was over here like nudging him like, hey, we need to get some more of that.
Yeah, we have it out when we're out sometimes, especially when we're like probably the next time we do a big event, we'll probably have fry seasoning available. So
Okay, awesome. And then if for anyone interested in your herbs, where can they find you on that?
So I'm at Imagine Chef Mal on Instagram for Imagine Eden. And then I also have a business page, Imagine Eden, on Instagram. And my website is www.imagineeden.cc at gmail. What is it?
.com.
.com. So yeah, but to make it all easy, if you go to my Instagram at Imagine Chef Mal or at Imagine Eden, IMAGINEEDEN, like the Garden of Eden and the word Imagine. You just click the link in my bio and it'll take you to my website, and you can find my shop, my herbal shop there. I have elderberry syrup. I have respiratory remedy that's specifically for your respiratory system, especially if you're dealing with a respiratory issue. And then I have the cold and flu, which is kind of a maintenance type of elderberry syrup. And then I have my mooning menstrual for irregular menstrual issues with women, or just to balance your hormones. And then I have a parasite cleanse, and I have soothing hibiscus, which is like a storial hibiscus type of vibe with elderberries in it also. And yeah, so there's several different things you can purchase. I'm also getting ready to launch a new item, so stay tuned for that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And we'll put all of your information in the show notes too, so all of our listeners can go back and find you. And we have really had a great time. Thank you so much, Mal and Darrell, for joining us and talking with us and sharing your amazing food.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having us. Thank y'all for stepping out and, doing what you were called to do, and have platforms to have, people out to share their story so people can, because we don't have time to do this sometimes, so we're very appreciative that you have a platform where we can come and speak.
Yes.
So you can get to know the people behind the experience.
Exactly. Most definitely.